Hey guys, welcome back to My Dreams Reality Podcasts. I'm your host, Alvaro. Today we're talking about the art of living. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns. Sometimes things don't go as planned, even when we do everything right. Yeah, it happens actually, and that happens more often than anything in life. And somehow, it's always a surprise that something like that happened in our lives. So let's dive into how to navigate life's challenges and find beauty in the unexpected. Here's the thing: you have to embrace the messy beauty of life. If you don't embrace it, it's going to be a thorn in your thigh. It's going to be a pain because gratitude is an excellent practice, man. Without gratitude, you're just going to fall into the abyss of regret and cynicism and a lot of stuff that's totally negative. So you have to understand that life is a masterpiece of ups and downs, triumphs and failures. It's a canvas of experiences that shapes us into who we are today, and today shapes who we will be tomorrow or who we are tomorrow. But what happens, right? What happens when things don't go as planned? How do you respond? How do you react? Because there's a difference between responding and reacting. Most people think it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. Responding, it means you have control in the actions. You're actually giving a reply to the situation, and reacting, you're letting the situation dictate your behavior and your emotions. So you shouldn't react, you should respond. And a lot of psychologists always say this stuff like, don't react to the situation, respond to the situation. Some people choose to be silent when things are not going great. That's a response. And some people are going to be very emotional. They're going to be having a tantrum. They're going to be cussing out a lot of people. And that's not a response. That's a reaction right there. So you shouldn't do that because it's not even healthy. At least try going to the gym or something, but don't have an emotional response. An emotional response is just equal to a reaction. It's very dangerous, not only to yourself, but to other people as well. And we have to copy. You have to copy with unforeseen challenges. You have to learn to adapt. You have to be flexible because these things, we don't know if they're coming and we don't know if they will come. But what I do know is life is so spontaneous. Yes, we do have our plans, we have everything laid out, but it doesn't always go that way. And you cannot blame that on anyone because we are all characters in this beautiful story called life. And as we all know, only the author has the power to change the story, and none of us are the author. We are all characters, and we have to be grateful that we're even in this story. Romeo and Juliet has been one of the best classic novels out there. Shakespeare did some amazing work there. Of course, he did it. He was a brilliant man. But what I want to point out there is the Romeo and Juliet characters were made famous by Shakespeare, and it wasn't the other way around. So it's something that they had to do. They had to play by Shakespeare's script, or otherwise, it was going to go the other way. So we have to be grateful that we're even part of this story. That's number one. Be grateful. Be grateful because some people were not even born. Some people are not even in the story. And okay, now, have you ever heard a beautiful quote? This is one of the best quotes I heard. And I heard this in a song. It goes like, "Life is beautifully ugly at times." When I heard that in that song, I made that song my favorite. It's my favorite song on my playlist right now. It's called Hotels something something. I will look it up and maybe we will talk about it, or I'll tell you in the next podcast. So you have to find the beauty in the brokenness. Life is beautifully ugly at times. As ugly as it is, the ugliest makes it beautiful. And that is something that we cannot argue with, because sometimes it's in the brokenness that we find the most beauty. Think about it. Just think about it. A broken vase can become a beautiful mosaic. A stormy sky can produce a stunning rainbow. Um, some people were actually knocked out, like the boxers. They can tell you this. Muhammad Ali's story was great, but people forget that Muhammad Ali's story was all about looking on the bright side. It was all about looking at the beautiful side of life, the beautiful side of the situation. The guy was always beat up. I mean, if you watched his fight with George Foreman, you'd understand what I'm talking about. He had to take those punches, he had to take the punishment in order to win, because he looked at the beautiful side of life. And so should we, because whatever it is, it's essential to learn how to adapt and find a way forward. What can we learn from these examples, right? From Muhammad Ali, from the great men and women who came before us, from nature itself. You can pick up your bags, get your tent, and go out there in the woods. Make sure you're safe, by the way. And if you're allowed to in your country, you can also carry a gun. If you're not allowed to carry a gun, at least you have a pocket knife, because you never know what's going to happen out there. So it's always nice to be safe. So you should be out there. And if you go out there and you observe nature, you will get to understand what I'm talking about. The gazelle is being chased by the lion. Right now, as I speak, it's being chased by the lion. The lion wants to eat, the gazelle wants to survive. And if you look at it, there's tragedy on both sides. If the lion doesn't catch the gazelle, what is he going to eat for dinner? And if the gazelle is eaten by the lion, he's dead. So there's tragedy, and there's also a positive side in the tragedy. Like, yes, the gazelle died, but the lion gets to live on. He gets to have dinner. Yes, the lion didn't get the gazelle, but the gazelle, at least he gets to go back home and see his family one more day. So there's good and bad in both situations. There's just good and bad. So we have to practice being resilient and taking care of ourselves. Because look, if we don't take good care of ourselves, who's going to take good care of us? Like, you have to teach people how to treat you well. And psychologists always say this. They say, if you want people to treat you well, treat yourself well first. Before they do, you have to treat yourself well. It's your responsibility. It's no one else's responsibility. So why am I going with this? I'm saying to people, yes, things go bad. Yes, things can happen in life out there. Things also happen in my life. It's life. And as I grew up and as I matured into it, I realized that things happen to just about everybody. I mean, when it rains, you can be angry about it. Be like, oh man, it was so rain. It was raining out there. It was raining cats and dogs, and I forgot an umbrella. I forgot my raincoat, and look, I'm drenched. And the only one. Someone is out there. Maybe their car is stuck, and they're out there fixing the car. Or at least it's raining, and at least you got to go back home. They still have maybe about 50 k's to go home. They can't walk 50 k's and leave their car stranded besides the road. It's not going to happen. So you have to look on the bright side, learn to deal with these things. And resilience is a good thing. Without resilience, life will batter you up. It will beat you up because life requires a lot of resistance. Life requires a lot of guts. I remember a time when I started doing martial arts. Was it martial arts first or was it calisthenics? Okay, I started with calisthenics first before I started doing martial arts. So calisthenics, they're all about resilience. Like we don't take any supplements, we just do our workouts. No equipment, usually no equipment. That's how I do it. I don't use equipment. So it's a matter of lifting your own body. Your body is the weight. Your body is the equipment. And if you haven't ever done even 10 push-ups in your entire life, the day you say I'm going to do 50, you're going to find out that 10 is nothing, and getting to even 25, half of that 50 is a milestone. It's something that will take a lot of guts, something that will take a lot from you. You need to be plowing forward. And if you understand that and you're resilient and you plow forward, you find yourself doing the 50 push-ups. But not on the first day. You can't do them. It won't go on the first day. You're going to have to make like different sets and reps to make sure that they all add up to 50 and reduce the resting time and stuff like that. So please, guys, don't blame it on anybody. Life is what it is. It's a masterpiece, and some masterpieces have been made by geniuses, but you have to understand that God is beyond human understanding. I'm sure you will understand your story at the end of it. Look, a lot of people are still finding out about themselves. This guy who called me this other day and was talking about, oh man, I didn't know I could draw. The other one called me, I was like, I didn't know I could swim until I actually did swim. And now I'm going out there, we're having competitions with these private schools and stuff like that. But before they even tried doing these things, they didn't know that they could do these things. So life is a mystery to all of us. Only God knows what life is, and only God knows what lies ahead in your life. So don't blame it on anybody. Don't blame it on God. Just accept whatever comes in your life. Well, accept it as it is and respond to it. Whatever it is, good or bad, respond to it. The response is learning to how to respond to life's challenges and life's events. It's a good skill to have. And people think you always have to learn how to respond in negative situations. You also need to learn how to respond in positive situations, because some people don't know how to handle that as well. They overdo it, or they do it less, like they underdo it or they overdo it. So you have to learn how to respond in both ways, negative or positive. Thank you guys for listening. This is the My Dreams Reality Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Thell. See you guys next time. Baby.
Pachikuna tita kuzipasando Lanita nekuzimbisa Ekongo fimbiswa. Yeah. You say you know me, but you don't know my story. When no see it, I say you go. Yeah. You say you family, you fingers even painting. Irimu moyo mangu. Yeah. Mundi siye Pay mugana, zinundi no sidao. Mundi siyo, di pay mugana, zinundi no sidao. Kana zehondo, zinundi no sidao. Kana kunyarara, zinundi no sidao. Kana zehondo, zinundi no sidao. I go higher, higher, higher. I pray I'll never fall again. my soul. Give me that love, yeah. Show me love, love. You're my baby, you're my baby, yeah, yeah. It's next Monday, so real by Monday. You know I there for you. You show me love, my baby. Let me sip you like it's Hennessy, like it's Hennessy.